Bid you a grand rising. We are back for the second half of Sticks and Stones on the Morning Mental with the official Grandmaster Jay. Don't be fooled by imitators and duplicators. This is the originator. I know there's some people I'm being misled right now because I've seen all kind of stuff all over the place. I even saw somebody try to take a picture that looked like me. Y'all know that ain't me. I even seen some people that try to co-opt the movement. Y'all know that's not the real movement. I even seen some people that went out and tried to badmouth the movement. I don't know why they would do that. But when you're doing something right and you expose the fact that other people are doing something wrong, rather than them try to get on the same page with you so that they can do something right, they act like children and they hate. They act like children and they start lying. They act like children. I'm sorry. They don't act like children. They are children. You see, this is grown folk business. And if you really not about that life, you never should have said so in the first place. But I digress. Because of the simple fact, I didn't hear anybody call themselves a militia in its truest form until now. So I want to send a big shout out and a salute of respect to all of those organizations that have practiced their Second Amendment rights and have practiced their First Amendment rights. The National African American Gun Association, the Black Gun Owners Association, the official Black Guns Matter Association, the Black Gun Owners in Education, the Black Bottom Gun Club in Detroit, the Harriet Tubman Gun Club, the South African Gun Club, the African Lion Gun Club. I salute all of them. I do. Same way I salute the original Black Panthers. My man Haiku out in Oakland. I salute them brothers. I salute the Huey P. Newton Gun Club. I salute all of the gun clubs, and I can't think of my young man that's down in Louisiana. Money Not Right. Y'all help me out. Y'all know I'm gonna mess his name up. But he knows what I'm talking about. They kind of new on the scene just like we are. I salute everybody. You see, that's the difference between me and them. I can salute you and we can stand on the same battlefield because sticks and stones will break our bones, but your words will never ever hurt me. I'm bigger than that. I'm thicker than that. Our enemy does not fight us with words. Our enemy traps us with words and then breaks our bones with their sticks and their stones. Let me say that again. Our enemy traps us with words and then breaks our bones with sticks and stones. They write a law that says you cannot or can do something. And then when you violate those words, they then turn around and break your bones, take your life with sticks and stones, and tasers, and pistols. So we got to be thicker than that. I mean, that's why I had to talk to y'all like Big Bruh this morning. Somebody said I was a triple OG. I said, what's a triple OG? I never heard that one before. It said a triple OG is somebody who's been here through several decades, who's been through several tribulations, who has survived several traumas, and you still are intact as the person that you were before you went through all of those. So let me see. I survived the civil rights movement. I survived the crack era. I survived the rise of black on black crime that came out of the poverty from the landscape that was left after they destroyed our black communities. I survived mass incarceration. I survived the dehumanization and the devaluation of the black man and the destruction of the black family. I survived the indoctrination into the military and being brainwashed into a soldier to come back and remember who I am, who my people was. I survived the hip hop era. I've survived so much shit to still be intact and have my brain intact that I can still stand for my people. I'm not a triple OG. I may be a quadruple OG. I may be a sextuplet OG, but I'm anything but a OG if that's what your definition is. What I look at it is, if you're an OG, that means you have wisdom. Just because you've been here a long time don't make you wise. There are a lot of big kids running around right now who are afraid of the get down when it's time to get down. So we get back to sticks and stones. We can't go forward until we deal with this, y'all. We really have to stop hating on each other. And if you are so weak-minded that you can let someone else tell you how to respond or to treat someone that you've never met, then you're not worthy of the title of leader. So please take that down, because a true leader knows how to go to the table face to face with other leaders and resolve your differences. You know, I know a lot of y'all don't smoke weed because you've been brainwashed into thinking that there's something wrong with weed, even though they're trying to sell it to you now. You've been brainwashed to think that weed is a gateway drug that leads to, chemicals that really damage you, like cocaine and alcohol. And you've been told that. But what you haven't been told is that in every culture around the world before the white man, when two kings had a beef, those kings would meet at the table of peace and reconciliation, and they would sit there. And before they talked about anything, they would have to smoke. Y'all know what it's called, the peace pipe. You had to smoke the peace pipe. You had to pipe out. Right. Everybody sitting there, showed up angry. And then they had the priest. They called him the priest then. They had the priest. Nowadays, it's your hookup man. The priest would come in with the peace, because peace was in what God provided. And y'all would smoke. Y'all angry looking at each other. And then the weed would take effect. And anybody who's ever smoked some good loud knows that the last thing on your mind is war when you're under the influence of some good THC. Okay? You are the most mellow person. You might be jovial. Shit, somebody might walk in and say, are they meeting yet? Yeah, they back there now. Are we going to go to war? Peep in the room and see. And you open the door, and both these great kings, both these great leaders, both these two men that was ready to go to war at a moment's notice, both these people who was ready to sacrifice lives and shed blood, both of them in there just like this. That's what I was trying to tell them. Man, come here, bro. You all right with me? Y'all done forgot how to do that. I'm going to say it here publicly. Don't talk about war unless that's what you really want. Because everybody is not going to respond to you with words. Some people believe in sticks and stones too. Especially if they've arrived at the conclusion that in order for us to be free, and this is nothing new that I've said to y'all, we might have to kill some of our own people. But I would much rather sit at the table like a man with the peace pipe, and we resolve our differences. So I'm going to do something that apparently nobody else wants to do. I'm going to say it publicly. I understand that there is some misunderstandings and some bad feelings out there in the black community, amongst those of us in this community of gun clubs and militias and so forth. And nobody has been man enough to pick up the phone and call anybody to say, let us reason as men. Well, I will extend that invitation today. Anybody who is or thinks that they are the head of their organization, that feels like that they are at odds with the NFAC, or that the NFAC is at odds with you. I can tell you this morning, we're at odds with nobody but our common enemy. Those folks who continue to exact racial injustice against us, and those people who would stand in the way of black people finally standing up united on their own to either have their own state or to finally be recognized as equal human beings in the United States across all spectrums, not just in the areas of policing, but in the areas of finance, in the areas of land distribution, in the areas of education, in the areas of community respect, outreach, and growth. Anyone who is an enemy to any of those things is who our enemy is. It is not people that look like we do. And if you can look at me and think of me as your enemy, I have to question, what the fuck are you? And where did you come from? Because we need to put an end to that shit today. So any of the other kings out there who sit in these organizations, I'm calling you out today to come to the table to have a real discussion or drop the act. That's all I'm going to say about that. We got to deal with that. We got to stop this hatred, because I've told y'all before, all of that comes from slavery. I also want you all to continue to be aware that right now, while y'all sitting around trying to figure it out, they're trying to get ready for our response. So I want to say this to all of the people out there that have reached out to me, that are asking me, who took the oath out of Stone Mountain. Can you authorize and organize your own chapters of the NFAC where you are? You absolutely can. That is why you were deputized to do so. What you cannot do is do anything on your own that is contrary to the ideals and the principles of the NFAC. Meaning, I told you, we don't protest. We're not demonstrators. You pull some shit like that and you're on your own. And we would disavow you. That is not what we are here for. If you are not sitting in on facts over feelings, but we give out details and we give information that the public knows, and you out trying to do your own thing, you're not affiliated with us. This is not a social club. This ain't a something to do. That's why you don't see people running around with NFAC hats and jackets and mugs and ink pens and shit. That's why you don't see NFAC flags and license plates. We don't specialize in advertise. You don't tell the enemy everything about you. We're not publicizing our names. All you motherfuckers running around talking about, I'm in the NFAC. No, you're not. Cut your shit short. We got the database and we know who's who. But y'all got to stop playing this claim to fame game. This is serious business. Because sticks and stones will break your bones. Bullets will kill you. And they're coming, whether y'all know it or not. So I want to address that this morning. Extend that invitation to anybody who feels like maybe there's some tension in the air and you're running around trying to mislead good people who really want to fight for their communities. You know, I know that some of you folks are some of the largest African-American groups, gun groups out there. That's great. We're glad to see you. But that doesn't mean that someone else can't come on the scene. Nobody owns this movement to be free. And that is our biggest problem. Some of y'all get a little something going for you, get a little bit of recognition, and all of a sudden you think that you are the oracle of the movement. Fuck you and your thoughts. You don't own us. Nobody does. So you don't own freeing us. We just doing our part. You do yours. We'll all end up in the same place. We all after the same goals, aren't we? But then again, like I said before, I have to question some people's motives in this. Because when the bullets start flying, we're going to find out for real what you're made of. Because our bullets fly both ways. And I'm going to keep saying that, so I don't want y'all to be shocked when this shit happened. You know, y'all have forgotten that there was a time that you could tune in on the TV and there was always somebody having a shootout. They don't want y'all to remember your past, man. Y'all got cable and forgot everything. I remember when the brothers went up into Howard Johnson down in New Orleans and shot it out on nationwide TV with the cops until they killed them on TV, went out in a blaze of glory. I remember in LA when they shot it out with the police for over an hour. They had to burn the house down. Y'all don't remember none of that. But yet they want you to remember stuff like Waco and Ruby Ridge. Cause see, that's when white folks grabbed their guns and stood their ground. But they don't want you to see, matter of fact, they want you to think that the only time that we've ever gotten organized and marched down the street was in the movie Malcolm X, which is a bunch of bullshit. That is not true. What I'm telling you is that there was a time when there were so many black people getting organized and picking up guns, they knew they had to shut this shit down because it was becoming too contagious. So they went after the most popular people. Don't y'all think that if they decide to go after the most popular people, let's say I'm the most popular person right now, that even if they take me out, they coming for you next? We don't get together now. We don't unite now. We don't bury our differences now. And y'all stand up for all this shit that y'all been talking. Then you're not going to have to worry about the people are going to make the decision. The people are going to decide we're not fucking with y'all no more because y'all ain't about no action. We're going to fuck with these people because they about that action. Organized action, well thought out action, action with a goal, action with a plan, action that benefits, action that can be scaled out, action that has a 3 to 5 year plan, not just sitting around wearing a title talking about you somebody as if you threatening to do something but don't do nothing. The people gonna decide that. I ain't got to say that, but as your big bro, I got to come talk to you this morning because it's not to put you down. It's to lift you up. It's not to push you to the side. It's to build you up. It's not to cast you to the side. It's to pull you onto the team. How the hell we going to put 1 million guns on the streets if I can't get half of y'all just to come and meet me in the middle? Mm-hmm. So once again, I thought I'd speak on that this morning because there's some people out here who don't understand that this is bigger than what you're doing in the United States. Later on today, I have a very big announcement for the NFAC, an alliance that has been built internationally. Pretty sure it's going to send some shockwaves. Nick Cannon, keep your head up, bro. Stood your ground. I find it interesting that you can have a podcast that had nothing to do with CBS Viacom. This is you having your own little personal First Amendment chat with another brother that they had already washed their hands of, and y'all talking about something that's y'all business. But like I told you, y'all keep letting these people up in to your business, and they have say so over your business. See, people